Hello guys, it is Zenzo here, and today I'm going to be going over my controller and graphics slash gameplay settings with you guys in XDefiant. I hope everybody's been enjoying the game. I've been freaking loving it. It's been a great break from COD, and I hope this game goes places because it is very, very good. I'll be doing a review and a breakdown of the game, what I've liked and what I don't like in the near future, so stay tuned for that. But anyways, let's get right into the settings. We'll go over gameplay UI here. I am only going to cover controller, so if you're looking for mouse and keyboard settings, they won't be in this video, but you can still use the video and graphic settings and other settings like that. Just no mouse and key settings. So obviously with that, we're going to be having our gameplay input as controller. Next is field of view. So if you are coming from a title where, like Call of Duty and games like that, you might have a preferred field of view already. I prefer 99. I don't know why, but that's what I normally play on. But that is like a comfort setting, whatever you want. So the next setting is ADS field of view. I keep mine as consistent. This is just a setting that will change your field of view depending on what optic you're using and that kind of stuff when you aim down sights. Next is ADS behavior, hold, ADS sensitivity transition. This I prefer to play instant because as soon as I aim in, I want to have the same sensitivity every time. So no matter what I'm doing, I know how my character is going to react once I aim down sights. This is kind of a preference setting depending on whatever you want to use. It's up to you. Melee during ADS, I turn that off so that you don't accidentally melee while you're trying to shoot somebody. Aiming interrupts reload. I have this on just to help with reload canceling faster. Crouch behavior, toggle. That's kind of a normal preference thing. Sprint behavior, tap. Auto sprint on. It's kind of like auto tag sprint from COD, essentially. It hasn't been GA'd or anything because there's none of that in this game, so I just have it on. I haven't really noticed a big difference with it on, but I'm just leaving it on. Sprint interrupts reload on, just so that way that's another way to reload cancel if you prefer. Most people, this is what they're used to from Call of Duty. If you want to have it off, you can do that as well. Slide behavior I have set to tap. That's preference. Auto reload, I would recommend having that to set to on, so that way if you do run out of bullets with your assault rifle or your main weapon, it will automatically switch to your secondary, so that way you can just keep firing at a target. Auto switch weapon when out of ammo, it's kind of the same deal with auto reload. Auto ledge grab, I have that turned off. That's just kind of so that way you don't get stuck in a mantling animation while you're trying to move around or play close to cover. Walk behavior I have set to hold, scoreboard, whatever, hold, whatever you want to set that. These two settings are kind of personal preference. I prefer to have mine set as small as possible, all personal preference. Challenge notification, same thing, personal preference. Damage numbers, personal preference. I prefer it off so my screen doesn't get crowded with numbers. You obviously want health bar on. Minimap rotation, depends on you. Distance units, personal preference as well, whatever you're more comfortable with, yards or meters. Same thing with all these settings. If you want to have your FPS being displayed in the top right or top left corner, your ping, whatever, that's all personal preference. Alright, let's move into controller. I played tactical for Call of Duty, which is you melee with the circle button and you crouch with your joystick, press of your joystick, all personal preference, but if that's how you play Call of Duty, you're going to want to set to brawler. Stick layout, default, aim assist, standard. The only other option is disabled, which I would not recommend if you're playing on controller. You're going to want to leave your aim assist strength and aim assist follow to 0. You want as much aim assist as you can get, as always, so leave those to 0. Aim response curve, you can either play linear or reverse S curve. Linear is going to give you a more accurate representation of what your controller joystick is doing. It will be a 1-to-1 match. That is going to be the most consistent for you. I've played a lot of reverse S-curve. Very good as well. It's kind of personal preference between the two, whichever you would like to play. Next, I'm going to be going into sensitivities. Sensitivities are all personal preference. You'll figure out what you like to play just based off of the game. The biggest thing that's going to affect your sensitivity is actually your acceleration speed multiplier. So this is when you're turning. If you have this up, it'll actually move faster or not as fast depending on how quickly you turn and all that kind of stuff it takes into account. So if you're going to use this, which I would recommend not using because it's going to mess with the feel of your game, and the whole thing with your aim is you want it to be as constant as possible. You want everything to be consistent and to become second nature. So by turning this off, it's going to give you the most consistent feel in the game. So with that being said, if you're playing a slower sensitivity, you're going to turn around slower because you don't have the speed multiplier. So if you're going to have this set to 0 like me, I would recommend playing a higher sensitivity. So that's why I play 70 and 70 with a 0.62 ADS multiplier. So this is going to come down to personal preference right here. How I like to do it is just hop into games and just adjust what you think needs to be changed. If you feel like you're turning too slow, bump it up. If you feel like you're going too fast, turn it down a little bit. And then same goes for when you're aiming on targets. This is what you're going to want to change to be able to stay on target at longer ranges. Next, we're going to go into dead zones. They should be set to as low as you can possibly get them without stick drift. So you guys will know your controller, the feel of your controller, so just kind of mess with those until you get the preferred feel. Next is off, off, and off because we don't want to invert anything, and you definitely do not want controller vibrations. Next, we're going to go into video and graphics. You can play either full screen, windowed full screen, whatever, but if you do play windowed full screen, it will automatically lock your display resolution to whatever the resolution of your monitor is. I have a 1440p monitor, and I prefer to play on 1080p. Just preference. You can do whatever you want with this setting, but the only way to change this is to be on full screen. Unless you go through and edit your monitor settings, which you can do, but I just do it this way because it's easier for me. Next is going to be your refresh rate. You know, whatever your monitor is, it doesn't really matter. It should be set to that. It won't let you go over, obviously. Next, you're going to want to turn triple buffer off. Input latency, which is not what you want in first-person shooters. Reduce latency. It'll lower your frame rate a little bit, but it reduces latency. I have that off because I just want it to be as many frames as possible without having to use these, because these will mess with your game a little bit. So I have that off. NVIDIA, if you're using an NVIDIA graphics card like I am, you want to put this to on plus boost. Optimize system latency. So you want to have this to on plus boost. Brightness, contrast, whatever you want. DX12 renderer off because you don't want to have to mess with these high, I think it's, high dynamic range. So you don't really need to mess with these too much. I just turn this off. The next part of this is pretty much dependent on your graphics card. All the rest of these settings are based on your graphics card and what your computer's capabilities are. So for me, because I stream and make a lot of YouTube videos, or I'm going to be making a lot of YouTube videos on this game, I like to leave my settings a little bit higher for you guys, just so you guys can get a little bit better of a picture and make it a better viewer experience. If you're going for maximum FPS, you can turn these all the way down to low, whatever you prefer. You're going to want to have VSync off. If you want to have a frame rate limit, you can put it on and it'll max out at 200, which if you have a monitor that has higher than that, You might just want to leave this off. I just leave it off because I'm crazy. So the rest of these settings are all kind of up to you, these next couple, depending on, like I said, your graphics card and that kind of stuff. Sharpening, you're going to want to put this to 10. You're going to want the game to be as sharp as possible. Next are all kind of whatever you want. This should be off. I don't know why I have that on. That should be off. Object detail, I don't know why I don't have that to 100. Set that to 100 as well. Is going to depend on your computer as well, because this will put more strain on your memory. Like it says here, uses more memory. So if you have a better computer, you can put that to 10. If not, leave it on default, whatever you would like to do. Lens flare off, water quality high, chromatic abrasion. I'm not really sure what this does. It says on UI elements. I'm just leaving it on because that's what it is by default. But you guys can mess around with this and see what the big difference is and leave that in the comments. And then finally, terrain quality. I have this on high just so I can see people a little bit better. But like I said, most of these settings are just based off of what kind of a graphics card you have. Make sure you save your settings. And yeah, that'll be it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Try to make it as quick as possible. Hope you guys are enjoying the game. Make sure to check out my Twitch and follow me on X for updates and stuff like that on the game. And I hope you guys are having a great time with this game, just like me and my friends are. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.